In this video, I'm going to show you the difference between the DJI RS4, the RS4 Pro, and I'm also going to show you where the RS3 Mini fits into this whole lineup of gimbals from DJI. Because it can get super confusing to figure out which gimbal that you need for the type of situation that you're filming in. So this video is going to break down all of the features between all of these gimbals so you can figure out which gimbal is perfect for you. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Jeven Dovey, and I have my YouTube channel here, but I also run a production company based out of Los Angeles. So I use all three styles of gimbals depending on the type of production that I'm working on. When I'm traveling, when I'm trying to stay lightweight, I'll stick with the RS4 or the RS3 Mini. However, when I'm working on a production with a bigger team, I'm going to opt for the RS4 Pro. And there's also some other features, even when I'm a solo shooter, that make the RS4 Pro really useful depending on the type of gear and the lenses that you're using when you're out filming. However, in general, gimbals are an essential tool for everything that I do, whether it's here on my channel or it's for my different clients. And I just want to say a special thanks to DJI for sponsoring this video. So let's first break down what type of cameras really fit what style of gimbal. Now, this isn't a hard and fast rule because you can interchange cameras depending. However, there are some limitations when you go to the smaller side of these gimbals. With the RS4, it's set up for a mirrorless style camera, so something like the A7S III, FX3, A9 III. Now, the RS4 Pro is definitely more set up for the bigger kind of cameras, so something like the FX6, or if you shoot on Red or some other camera that has a bigger body style. Now, the RS3 Mini is definitely set up for really small styles of cameras, so something like the ZVE1, so these tiny bodies that have a smaller footprint so that you can keep everything super compact. Now, the RS4 and the RS4 Pro have been upgraded in a bunch of different ways from the original RS3 and RS3 Pro. And so as we go through all of these different features and compare them side by side, you'll see that there are some big improvements if you are someone who has been working with the RS3 or RS3 Pro in the past. Now let's first talk about weight and payload. So the weight of the RS4 is 3.1 pounds. Now the RS4 Pro is 3.5 pounds. So it's not that big of a difference between these two gimbals. Now the RS3 Mini is definitely the lightweight one at 1.87 pounds. Now the RS4 and the RS3 Mini are both made out of aluminum alloy. So it's a little bit heavier metal than the RS4 Pro, which is made out of carbon fiber. That's why you have a bigger gimbal, but it's very close in terms of weight to the RS4. Now, in terms of payload, which is the camera lens combo that you're going to put on the gimbal, this is a big difference between all three. So with the RS4, you have 6.6 pounds. With the RS4 Pro, you get 10 pounds. And if you're someone who's shooting on a lightweight setup, well, the RS3 Mini holds 4.4 pounds. And so this is where I said at the beginning, if you're working with a small compact camera, ZVE1, the RS3 Mini could work. But if you have a little bit heavier setup, maybe you're using a 24-70 on the end of an A9 III, well then the RS4 makes sense. But then if you're using the FX6 with cinema glass, maybe an anamorphic lens, and you want to put some focus motors and you want to put LiDAR on it, well, you're going to want to use the RS4 Pro, which can hold up to 10 pounds. And even working with the bigger setup with cinema glass and LiDAR and all of that, working with the RS4 Pro is still a lightweight experience, and you can handhold it as a solo creator, which allows you to be very flexible even with a full cinema setup on this gimbal. Now, in terms of the build and how the gimbal assembles, there is a big difference between the RS3 Mini and the RS4 and the RS4 Pro. Now, the RS4 has a whole ecosystem that's built around these gimbals because the battery's removable, there's different attachment points on the sides of these gimbals, and it allows you to really expand what you do with the gimbals. Whereas with the RS3 Mini, the battery is attached and it's very much set up to just be a small compact setup. So with the battery on the RS3 Mini, you get 10 hours of record time. Now with the RS4 and the RS4 Pro, you have a detachable battery, and there's different battery sizes that will work with each gimbal. So on the RS4, you have a smaller compact battery that allows you to make the whole footprint of this gimbal much smaller. And there's also a much larger 4,800 milliamp hour battery, which allows these gimbals to run for a very long time. On the RS4, you get 29 and a half hours. On the RS4 Pro, you get 29 hours. And this bigger battery also extends the grips so that you can have a wider hand grip when you're operating either one of these gimbals. Also on the bottom of this bigger battery, there are 2 different mounting points to make it easier to work with other accessories and to be able to mount this in different ways. Now, one big difference between the RS3 Mini and the other 2 is that the RS4 and RS4 Pro have an auto locking and unlocking feature. So as soon as your camera's balanced, anytime you power up, you can have the gimbal recenter itself and be ready to start shooting. On the RS3 Mini, you have to manually unlock each arm each time that you want to start shooting. Now, another upgrade from the original RS3 and RS3 Pro is a new switch on the left side of the 1.8-inch screen. Now, this allows you to switch from either gimbal control or zoom control, depending on how you want to operate the gimbal. And a big thing with the RS4 and the RS4 Pro is now they have native vertical shooting. On both of these gimbals, the horizontal arm, which holds the camera, can be detached using a quick release on the side, and then you rotate it to be vertical, attach it, and lock it in place. With a few minor adjustments, you go from horizontal shooting to vertical shooting super fast. And on the RS3 Mini, it also has a native vertical format. You remove the horizontal arm and you put the quick release on the vertical arm, and then you could switch to vertical shooting. And so all of these gimbals are set up to shoot in whatever style of format that you're filming, whether you are doing horizontal or you're doing vertical formats. And increasingly, even on my big productions, I'm getting a lot of requests for doing vertical style content. So even with the RS4 Pro, there are times where I'll flip that gimbal into the vertical style because that's the format that I need to shoot in for the content that I'm producing. Now, also with the build of these gimbals, there's a NATO port that allows you to attach different accessories. On the RS3 Mini, you just have one, and it's really set up just for a back handle. On the RS4, you have 2, and one of them has a hot shoe connection. This is an upgrade from the RS3. On the RS4, you can attach different accessories, either from DJI or from third party, depending on what you need to work with using the gimbal. Now, on the RS4 Pro, you have 2 NATO attachments, and both of them are the hot shoe RSA ports. So you can attach more accessories and be able to add even more onto this gimbal. Now, how you attach the camera to these gimbals is a dual plate system. So you have this Arca Swiss style plate that goes on the camera, and this attaches to a larger plate that slides into the gimbal, and there's a precision dial that allows you to figure out your balance perfectly. Now, with the RS4 Pro, there's a secondary plate that gets rid of this Arca Swiss connection and attaches directly onto your camera for a bigger setup. And on the RS3 Mini, the camera attachment is a little bit different because it hooks to both the horizontal and the vertical arm, so it doesn't have the same precision slide that the RS4 and the RS4 Pro has. Now, in terms of lens control, the RS3 Mini is really set up for autofocus lenses. Now, with the RS4, you can attach an external motor and you can control a manual lens on the gimbal itself. Now, with the RS4 Pro, this is much more set up for using manual lenses to be able to attach multiple motors. You can attach both a focus and a zoom motor onto this and have it all connect seamlessly. Now, another big difference between the RS4, RS4 Pro, and the RS3 Mini is the wireless video transmission. So with the RS4 and the RS4 Pro, there is a cold shoe attachment underneath the gimbal so that you can attach something like your Raven Eye or your DJI transmission. Now, the RS4 Pro is definitely set up for the bigger transmission system, whereas the RS4 is set up for the Raven Eye. So you can send a signal directly to your phone, be able to control your settings, and also be able to just see what you're filming without having to look at the screen on the back of your camera. You can also use the Raven Eye to send the signal to something like an iPad so that you can have someone else viewing what you're doing when you're operating the gimbal. Now, with the RS3 Mini, it's not set up for wireless video transmission. It's very much set up just to put the camera lens on and be able to operate as a solo creator. Now, one of the big things that really sets the RS4 apart from the other gimbals is the ability to use the LiDAR system with the RS4 Pro. Now, this gives you full autofocus capabilities with a manual lens. So you add the LiDAR on top of your camera, you create a profile for that lens, or DJI already has profiles set up for popular cinema glass. And then as you're filming, your lens will act as an autofocus lens and continually track depending on what you're filming. There's also some active trap capabilities using this LiDAR system. And so even as a solo shooter, you can work with this system and put on cinema glass and be able to have full autofocus when you're out filming. It's a super easy process to get it all set up. And with the new improved LiDAR system, it's just a much smoother experience and it stays locked onto your subject much better. And with the release of the RS4 Pro, DJI has also released an external hand grip that allows you to run the LiDAR system without having to be attached to the gimbal. So you could use this full auto system on a manual lens, even if you're handholding or on a tripod, and you don't have to have the full gimbal setup. So DJI is really building a bigger ecosystem around the RS4 and the RS4 Pro so that you can use these in a wide range of settings and be able to use all different styles of lenses depending on the situation that you're filming in. Now, also one of the big factors is the price. And the price is going to change depending on which accessories that you're going to need. So at the time of making this video, here's the price list for these 3 gimbals and the different configurations that you have for each, along with all of the different accessories. So really, after you're finished watching this video, make sure you head down description, check out the links so that you can look through which pack that you need and which accessories make the most sense to you, so you can figure out exactly how much your setup is going to cost for everything that you need when you're out filming. So which gimbal should you get? Well, it depends on what you're shooting. If you're using super small cameras, RS3 Mini might be the way to go. However, if you're going for a heavier setup, you're going to want the RS4 or the RS4 Pro. Now, the RS4 is set up definitely for a solo shooter. You're not adding a lot of attachments, and at most, you're using some manual lenses with a follow focus so that you can control it when you're out filming. However, with the RS4 Pro, it's definitely set up for teams or much bigger setups where you want to have the LiDAR and the autofocus capabilities with a bigger setup. However, I've been using my A9 III on the RS4 Pro, and you don't have to use a big setup to use this gimbal. It just gives you that flexibility to have those options so that if you are someone who is going to be changing different setups, different lenses, and you're going to want to be able to put bigger lenses on your setup, then the RS4 Pro might be the way to go. All 3 of these gimbals work super well, and depending on the situation that you're filming in, you might want to choose one versus the other. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comments, what you think about this whole gimbal lineup and which one makes sense for you. And next, you should check out this video right here, which goes through some beginner versus pro gimbal moves so that you can get the most out of every time you're filming with a gimbal. I'll see you over there.